Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Steve Murphy. I'm the athletic trainer at Holy Spirit High School, co-hosted with Steve Normain, who is our athletic director, director of advancement, and our head baseball coach. We are joined here with Justin Jimenez, who is class of 2020 graduate, our captain of our Holy Spirit baseball program, our catcher, and next year we'll be taking his talents to Frostburg State University, where you'll be signed as a catcher as well.
Yes, sir.
Plan? Awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to kind of keep today, talk more about the Holy Spirit days, reflect memorable games, memorable moments, along with other seniors, this potential loss of your baseball season, which is going to be tough for a lot of people. With that, my first question for you deals with the quarantine, deals with the situation that we're in right now. How are you handling the quarantine? I know for myself, I think we're going to be entering week 6, and I'm at my breaking point. I'm losing my motivation. I'm definitely not working out like I used to. You know, is there any hobbies you've picked up? Is there anything that you've done to kind of keep your sanity, keep your mental health strong?
Mainly just at-home workouts, but they're still not the same like how we're used to. But really, almost every teenage guy has just picked up the game, and God knows how long. Everybody's been on it constantly, so that's the main way that we're all coping with this quarantine.
Yeah, I don't know, Coach Normain, do you have any hobbies that you've picked up?
Well, I mean, it's tough. It's just tough staying busy. That's the biggest thing to me. You know, it's easy to sleep in. I've tried to get up early as much as possible. I don't know, Justin, have you been getting up, getting dressed, getting your work done?
Yes, sir. 6 in the morning every morning.
Really? Oh, that's impressive. Nice.
I think where most people have been struggling is not having that routine. So it's good. It's important to do that, and that'll keep you ready for college as well, because you know you're gonna have early morning classes, early morning practice.
Actually, the baseball programs, you're gonna have a lot of early morning 6 a.m.s, 5:30 a.m.s. Remember those from that Rowan days. So I just want to tell you my Justin Jimenez story. All right, so when someone says to me, Justin Jimenez, there's one day I think back on, and I'm going to say, well, it was your junior year. It was the first day of outdoor baseball practice. All right, I'm doing my rounds, and I'm coming down to the baseball field, and Coach Downey's hitting the infield, doing, I guess, IO practice and all that stuff, and there's Justin catching the ball from the first baseman, and you kept communication going the whole practice, whether it was picking kids up for making errors, whether it was patting them on the back for making a great play, but every single ball Downey hit, you had something to say, which no words were spoken. I walked down, I looked at Downey, I pointed at you, your back was to us, and we both just smiled, nodded, and was like, we have leadership. This is awesome. That's a trait that I see a lot of athletes, and it's a quality that I don't see a lot of. And you take practice to heart. You take that adage, perfect practice makes perfect. You treat every day like it's your last game, and that is awesome, and that is something that hats off to you, and that is what's built you success in playing at Frostburg next year. So my question for you is, how did you develop that type of work ethic? Where did those leadership traits come from? What inspirations have touched you in the past?
It's mainly when I was younger, my dad and I, we would always work in our in either our basement or our living room, always working with communications, always letting the infielders, the outfielders, even the pitcher know what the next situation is going to be. So I started off screaming it. With this little squeaky voice, screaming it out to everybody so they could hear me. Then once I got older, I started to develop talking louder so they can actually hear me instead of wearing my voice out. So the louder I am and the more stern I am with my voice, everybody will tune in, listen up. I think I started that when I was 10 years old, and I started catching when I was 8. Yeah, so it's a hard trait to adapt and come about, but once you've been working on it since you started playing, it's pretty easy to keep on going with in your next level.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I got to say about Justin, too, is I taught you in the classroom sophomore year and junior year, and even that year gap, the student you've become was tremendous jumps. Because I picture you being someone who gets it and you know what you're working towards and you do it, man. Which again, hats off.
Hey Murph.
Yeah.
So if I can touch on that, when I haven't coached baseball for the past 2 years, and obviously the spring has been put on hold, but I was the coach of the team when Justin came in, and I remember him. Obviously, we followed the local 8th graders and 7th graders, and I remember hearing about Justin and talking about Justin, and the thing everybody would say about him is, yeah, he's a little guy, but he commands the field. He's the captain out there, and he will do it from day one of his freshman year, and that was accurate. So Justin, I remember coaching your freshman year. We had a team of 13 seniors on varsity. You split some time. You were a varsity level kid, but there was a big backlog there. There was a lot of upperclassmen. That being said, you got to make your first varsity start as a freshman. You were a freshman, and we were playing Pleasantville away, and I said, this kid is doing what he needs to do. He never complains about catching down on JV or being a backup on varsity. And you got rewarded because, honestly, I saw that leadership of when you were a freshman on a team of 13 seniors. I saw leadership out of you. So you earned that start. So talk about how that felt the first time you saw your name on a lineup card as a varsity Holy Spirit player.
Oof, I had butterflies in my stomach. I didn't know what was going on in my head. It didn't feel real because in tryouts I didn't see my name originally on the varsity list because of all the seniors. But once I got the notice that I was going to be starting against Pleasantville, it just felt like a dream come true because almost every team I've tried out for, I've always made top of the list. But it actually humbled me not making varsity my freshman year and made me work even harder to try and get that starting spot, even though I was behind Riv and all those other seniors.
And I'll tell you, man, you from the first pitch, as Murph will attest to with practice, from the first pitch of your first varsity start, you were the loudest guy on the field.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So let's bring that. So that wasn't your most memorable game, was it? Your first start. Can you tell us what your most memorable game would have been?
My junior year autism awareness game, for sure. Even though we lost, it will ever have a special place in my heart, just mainly for the fact, like I said, my friend Gianna, she had autism. She was my lifelong friend when I lived in Summers Point. And once my family moved out of the area, we always kept in touch. It was like my best friend. We were close like this. It was crazy. But she was 12 when she just couldn't handle it anymore. She was getting bullied because she was different, because she had autism, and kids didn't understand it at the time. Some did, some didn't, really didn't care. She got to a breaking point, and she wound up taking her own life at 12 years old. And that affected me deep down. It hurt me. It hurt my family. It hurt everyone that knew Gianna and knew what she was about. But that year when we went to her Sweet 16, there was this feeling in the air that just something was with you, and there was this presence that was known. And after that day, even at school, like I would get yelled at by my parents because they don't like me writing on myself or whatever. So I would always write LLG on my wrist, and I do it every single day, constantly. I write it on my wrist tape before games, have a little prayer, always say LLG, everything. And that autism awareness game, I made it a vow to do something great that game. And during warm-ups, I felt great. I didn't feel like myself. I felt my arm was good. My swings before we hopped on the bus was great. And my first at-bat, this pitcher's throwing nothing but junk. Anything but fastballs. And as soon as I get up, my first plate appearance, my first pitch, throws me low and inside fastball, and I crush it to like the second or third row in the parking lot, and I felt nothing off the bat, just threw it. And round in third, I was hyped because we took the lead against Pope John, good team.
Wow.
And then as soon as I got into the dugout, I just started bawling my eyes out. I just knew something great was gonna happen that game, and it happened.
Wow,
That's awesome.
that's incredible, man. That's a really good, memorable game too. Wow.
Yeah, Pope John. They were one of the top ranked teams in the state at the time, and you guys hung with them. Probably should have won, but
Yeah.
some unfortunate bounces. I think a ball hit the umpire, right?
Oh man.
Oh, that's right. I remember that
Yeah,
game.
that was
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Justin, you mentioned LLG. What's that stand for?
Long live Gianna. I write that on everything. I write it on the knob of my bats, my gloves, my batting gloves, my cleats, anything.
I never knew that. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. Me either.
Because I used to tape your wrist, didn't I?
Yeah.
Hey, is that? Oh, wow. Is that why, or did you?
Dugout. And then when I get to the dugout, I always have a Sharpie.
Well, yeah. My God, I never knew that. That's incredible, man. It's a great story. So kind of continue forward. What are you going to miss most? If, especially if this season does not happen. I know it had to have been on your mind a little bit.
I feel like all the guys, we all knew from day one in workouts that this season was going to be special. Not only because it was our senior year, but just the work everybody's put in. Everybody felt like everybody was going to have a crazy season. No matter what the newspaper said, no matter what the press said, we knew we were going to be one of the top teams in the state. We knew we were going to have a chance at a ring. But really, I'm really going to miss the brotherhood. We all started getting close and started getting tight towards the end of workouts and then practices even. We were all starting to get real close. But then once we heard the news about the whole COVID-19 situation and that the season might get canceled, it was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I bet. It's
guys.
And I feel like we have Justin on, but to give a shout out to all of our Spartan seniors who are missing out this spring. We're hoping there's still some hope, and we're hoping we can get back out there on the field, even if it's just for a couple games. But for our hearts are out there. I know me and Murph and all of our administration and coaches, we're just absolutely broken for you seniors and for everybody else as well.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Wow. So Justin, looking back on your years here at Holy Spirit, what could you say Holy Spirit Athletics have done for you? How has your experience here at Holy Spirit helped you grow as the man you are today?
It definitely changed my perspective and my look on life now. Like coming in freshman year, I was like, oh, it's a Holy Spirit, it's a good school. I know a couple people that went there. I really didn't think too much of it. Freshman year, I feel like any freshman would just come in like, whatever, like, screw it. It's just another year of school. It's high school. Yeah, it's going to be a little different. But going into my sophomore, junior year, then I started getting a different look on how everything was run. Everything was running smoothly. It wasn't how middle school, what I was used to. It wasn't how it was all over the place. It's done in a unit, and everything is done like a family. And then my junior and senior year was when everything started to kick off, and then getting more and more life lessons from teachers and administration.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
anything
great,
else, Coach?
Yeah, what so speak to some of these kids who are getting ready. You're at the end of your journey. Speak to some of the kids who are getting ready to start their journey. What made you decide to be a Spartan?
Definitely the reputation. Definitely the reputation. There's nothing bad to say about Spirit as a whole, as a school, academic wise, or even sports wise. We just won the 2019 state championship for football. Baseball recently won in 2015. Come on now. Like within the past decade, they have 2 rings. Like, what more can you ask? You have a winning school, and you have a winning school academic wise. Like there's really no other choice besides Spirit if you're in the area.
That's great.
One word you can describe Holy Spirit community, what would it be?
One word?
One word.
Family.
Yep, that's what I thought you were going to say. Excellent, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Justin, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for being the first one to kick this off for us.
Yes,
you are always going to be a legendary Spartan in my eyes, and I'm sure Coach Normain's going to agree. I appreciate everything you've done on the field, in the classroom, and the way you left your mark as a Spartan, man. Congratulations and good luck at Frostburg State University.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Coach.